All right. Hey, Mohan, thank you so much for joining the call. I really appreciate that you took a time out to speak with us and share your experience about Elevate Me with us today.
Thanks, Shani. It's my pleasure to talk about ElevateMe. Yeah.
Of course, man. And I think you are very excited to speak with us because, of course, it is a life-changing moment that you now have a job.
Hmm.
So, wanted to speak with you and inspire every student, international student out there that are currently struggling. And I want to understand from you, what are the things you did and how did Elevate Me help and what was your struggle before you landed the job. So, pretty excited to speak with you today. And we'll get started with the first question. So, you joined Elevate Me. That was great. But before that, what did you do and what was your job search like? How was the struggle? Can you please tell us a little bit about that?
Sure, yeah. I graduated in December 2024. So I was basically searching for data engineer or data analyst job. And I've been doing a lot of applications from my side, giving some interviews, but nothing worked out. Like I waited for almost 6 months, tried everything on my own, preparing every day, doing like bunch of applications. Nothing turned out. And then I started searching for some help. I started searching for consultancies, IT firms. So I came across so many IT firms, and one of the person from ElevateMe reached out to me that time. So I was kind of thinking which one to choose. And one thing that inspired me to join ElevateMe is like they're not adding any fake experience. Like I heard so many stories, like people adding fake experiences to their resumes, somehow getting into the job, but you cannot work in the job, right? If you are showing some fake
Oh,
experience, you will struggle through in your day-to-day work. Like even if you got into the job, surviving the job is very hard if you had some fake experience. So I thought, why not give it a try? If I'm able to crack a job with my own genuine experience, uh, maybe that could help me a lot. I joined Elevate Me in like August.
yeah. So that's amazing that you shared. I call those horror stories, right? You join a consultancy and they take some money and then they add a bunch of 5, 7, 10 years experience.
Hmm. Yeah.
Especially right now with the ice and all the craziness that's going on, they can send you back from the border, right? So
Yeah.
that's very dangerous. But would like to understand, you said you joined in August, Elevate Me, August 2025.
Hmm.
But before that, when did you try it on your own? And if you did, how was the experience? Like, were you getting response, or how many jobs were you applying? Were you getting time? How were you managing all of that? And what was the like mental health situation during that time?
So like I was working pretty hard. Like I'd be doing around 40 to 50 applications per day, and then preparing for the interviews, gaining some technical knowledge. Uh, it was a very hard time. Like getting the job is more difficult part than actually doing a job.
Yeah.
Um, so I used to get some calls, not that many, uh, but most of them would be getting rejected because of this visa issues or some other things. Like I found it very hard to do applications. Like you cannot keep applying consistently if you are if you are the only one that's doing it. Like uh, if I get shortlisted to an interview, I need to prepare for it. I need to dedicate like proper 2 to 3 days for each interview. So I'll be missing out applying on these on these 3 days. So that's the one thing that I found Elevate me helped me a lot. Like even though you are preparing for your interview, there will be someone that will be applying from your side, and um, you don't need to worry about the application part. You can keep uh,
Preparing.
learning and um, uh, practicing for the interviews, which matters the most, I guess. Um,
That's a very good point you mentioned, because I believe that is the biggest advantage of getting external help, right? When you are preparing for interview, you're preparing your, basically you're improving your skills.
Hmm.
Meanwhile, someone is helping you behind the scene, applying for all these job application. I
Hmm.
say that finding a job itself is a full-time job. You have to keep applying constantly. So thanks
Yeah.
for sharing that. I appreciate. And more like what was going through their mind and emotions back then? Like, were you worried about your, OPD and OPD clock and all that? Like, tell us about that.
Hmm. Yeah. So one thing I was worried, like I'm doing a lot of applications, and the first thing I will see when I wake up a day is like a list of rejected mails in my screen. Every day, I used to wake up and check my email if I got any interview, and there would be a bunch of rejection emails. That's very disappointing and hard phase. Like, in spite of all these rejections, you have to keep on applying each and every day and keep on practicing. Uh, no matter how hard you push, you will eventually lose the hope. Joining Elevate Me helped me a lot in gaining some self confidence, and um, they would help you with your technical and behavioral skills. They used to take some sessions for me, how to handle this situation, what to say, what not to say during these interviews, and what questions can we expect for a particular role. So these things help me to gain my confidence back. Like it might be late, but you will definitely get a job if you keep on putting your efforts and learning something new each and every day.
Yeah, that's well said. Thank you so much. Tell me, like, when you heard about Elevate Me, and
Hmm.
oh, I'm sure you are getting calls from different consultancies, but what was your thought process about Elevate Me? What was your, what was going on in mind before you made a decision on Elevate Me?
So I used to get a lot of calls like join our IT firm, join our organization. We will help you with something. We will add some fake experience. Or we'd help you during interview calls. I thought Elevate Me is the same, but when I get to know them more, uh, I thought maybe it's a genuine one. Why not try it? And I happened to join Elevate Me, and it turns out to be a great decision from my side. Like, they actually do what they say. Like, they are totally genuine. They didn't add any fake experience. They just applied the with my actual experience. And there are organizations in the market that encourage people to cheat in the interviews. So I have about 3 years of experience back in India. So I thought I do have 3 years of experience. Why should I add more experience to it and dilute the original experience that I have with the fake one? That's one of the reason I chose Elevate Me, like not to do any illegal stuff and get my visa revoked.
I know, man. That's a scary part with the consultancies. You in a desperation, you had fake experience, and you do the all the fake interviews, and you may get deported. I keep hearing these horror stories, and there is ton of stories online and on Reddit where
Hmm.
they have been sent back from the border, and it's just crazy. And right now, with what's happening with the new administration, where the ICE is coming after all of these consultancies and companies. I'm not sure, Mohan, if you saw the video came out of Texas where these journalist woman went to one of the consultancy's house and knocked the door. Did you see that one? Like,
Oh, yeah, there are some 30 to 40 H1Bs filed from that location, and he's asking about where are all these employees.
yeah, yeah, I know that was
Yeah.
crazy, and I think it's very dangerous time right now for every student out there to join consultancy. They shouldn't be joining anything right now. It's very scary. What
Hmm.
was the decision making process in your mind that finally you decided to join?
So one of the question that I got in mind is like, I mean, some of my friends also suggested me that uh, if these guys are not adding any experience to you, why should you pay them and keep applying with the same experience? If it is your genuine experience, you can apply, right? What's the point in joining their organization? My point of view is like, if they add you some fake experience, and let's say if I get into the job, I will not be able to survive in the job. Like,
Mm.
I'd be losing my job, I would be losing the money that I paid to them, I would be losing my time and everything. And let's say if I got a job with my own experience, I can sustain in the job. So I'll be getting some money, I'll be able to pay them back. That's the main thing I thought. Like, even though it's my actual experience, I would not be losing job because I know what to do in the roles in the role I get in.
So yeah, makes sense. So your thought process was, hey, let me risk some money.
Hmm.
I have already risked thousands of dollars coming to US, going to the
Hmm.
university, maybe couple $1,000 more. Let me join these guys. Let me try it out. And if I get the job, I'm going to anyway make a lot of money.
Yeah, it's like the chances of keeping your job is more if you get the job with your own experience, rather than adding fake experience and struggling to survive in the job.
Yeah, makes sense. So after Mohan, you joined Elevate Me and you started the process. Um, what was some of the things you noticed that what, like, this is really helpful. I'm improving. It's helping me. Uh,
Hmm.
what was the first initial signs or things you liked?
So yeah. Apart from doing my applications, like Elevate Me helped me a lot to improve my technical as well as behavioral skills. Like, we used to have sessions with Niti and Divina on the behavioral sessions, like what are the behavioral questions that can be expected and what's the best way to relate them to you. They taught me like different frameworks like star framework, or how to relate your stories to the role. I think these skills matter a lot in US job market. Like, the people will be looking for you to know your character more, like how you're gonna sustain in the work environment, how all these are like team jobs, right? You should be able to help the other person, and you should be able to get help from the other person. So they would also be looking towards your character, like how do you perform in different situations. I think these are some of the new things I learned after joining Elevate Me. And apart from that, they also provide you like technical sessions. If you are applying in data engineer or software engineer, before every interview, they're gonna schedule a session with you where they're gonna discuss each and every question you may get in your actual interview. They'll try to prepare you for everything basically.
Mm. So you got a preparation for every job interview you are getting and discussing with the technical mentor and Divina and all of them.
Yeah, every interview, each and every round.
Who was your technical mentor? Do you remember?
It was Sagar for most of the interviews,
Sagar.
and
Okay.
for some of the interviews,
Munna.
Munna, yeah, Munna.
So Sagar and Munna helped you.
Hmm.
Uh, Great. Thanks, Mohan, for sharing the story in depth. I appreciate that. And finally, please tell us what are you doing right now and how long did it take you to land the job and where are you working? What's your salary? And tell us more about your success.
Yeah. So eventually, my success story. Uh, so after joining Elevate Me for about 3 months, I landed in a job with Unitas. It's a startup. It's a social care company, and my role was like is a data engineer role, and mm,
What's the salary?
so the salary is like 120K here. It's a totally remote position and flexible job. I would not have asked for more.
That's amazing, man. You did it.
Yeah.
And of course, it's not only Elevate Me. Without you working hard cannot happen. So you said It's $120,000 job, data engineer role. That's and also work from home. So what else can you ask for more?
Yeah, yeah.
How do you overall felt after all this stress, multiple
Mm.
months without job, and stress builds up? How did you felt afterward after you landed the job and you have a job now, of course, but how did you felt?
Oh, like it was my most awaited moment. Like I've been dreaming about getting into the job since I landed in America 2 years back, and finally that moment came, and I was very excited. At the same time, I was going through a lot. Like I've been struggling from the past 6 months, and suddenly from tomorrow, I'm gonna be a totally new person in a new environment. That's kind of top of the world feeling for me.
And also top of the world, and also no stress and anything, right? After you are just stress free.
Yeah, yeah, like I'm past that uncertainty point. Like I don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Mohan, after you joined Elevate Me, what was your first aha moment when you were like, oh, I made the right decision of paying some money? What was
Mm.
that initial success that you felt at Elevate Me?
Mm, so I can actually see my confidence increased after attending all these sessions. And before that, I was like kind of worried, man, like, will I get a job actually, or am I going to go back to India with all this loan? But since I joined Elevate Me, like I felt more confident, and I was like, it may not happen today, maybe next month or some other point, but it will definitely happen. I'll definitely get a job if
Mm.
I keep doing this.
That's amazing. And Mohan, if there are so many, like thousands, tens of thousands of students are out there right now listening
Mm.
to you and trying to search job, and they are on OPT and OPT STEM, and they're thinking about consultancy and fake experience and trying on their own and things like that. What would be your guidance to them? What they should be doing right now that are out there, all the international students in the US?
Hmm. One thing I would say is like don't focus much on your improving your experience. Focus on what you can learn, what you can contribute to an organization, and try to improve your skills. Don't run towards the fake things. Don't fall in the traps. Go for the traditional ways. Don't choose the shortcuts.
No shortcuts.
Yeah, trust yourself. Things will turn out eventually.
That's right. That's right, Mohan. Thanks for sharing. Last question before we let you go. So, was the money that you gave initially a small amount to elevate me to get started?
Hmm.
Was it worth it looking back?
Yeah, it was definitely worth it. I mean, I thought like so hard, like I'm unemployed right now. I got so much loan on my back. Will I be able to pay this? Is this worth it, really worth it to spend this money here? Yeah, right now I'm very glad I made that choice. Like,
That's
uh,
so.
yeah, it was
Yeah,
definitely worth it.
amazing, Mohan. And I think most of the money you would have paid is after you landed the job, right?
Yes, yes, yes. Like still being a student and unemployed, I had to think several times before doing it, but yeah, it was still worth it.
Nice. Well, Mohan, thank you so much for spending time with us, sharing your experience, and really appreciate you are the inspiration for tens and thousands of international students that are out there. Believe it or not, but you are truly an inspiration. You are a success story, and many will be inspired by your story. And thanks for sharing everything, Mohan. Any closing comments, Mohan, before we end the call?
Um, yeah, that's so kind of you, first of all, put me in this position. And yeah, if I had to say something, just keep your efforts consistent and keep applying, keep learning. Things will eventually sort themselves. Yeah.
Thank you, Mohan, for your time today, man.
Yeah.
I know you need to go back and continue with your job. Thanks for your time, brother. Have a nice day. Bye. Thank